As we approach the 14th day of Ramadan, it is essential to take a moment of deep gratitude for the countless blessings Allah has bestowed upon us. Ramadan is a sacred month that brings us closer to Allah, allowing us to purify our souls and renew our faith. As we fast and engage in acts of worship, let us be mindful of the mercy and compassion that Allah continuously showers upon us. It is in this time of fasting, prayer, and reflection that we are reminded of the true essence of devotion, and we are given the opportunity to draw nearer to our Creator. The Quran begins with the beautiful Surah Al-Fatiha, a reminder of Allah's boundless mercy and grace. This surah teaches us to seek Allah's guidance and to recognize His eternal kindness toward us. Surah Al-Fatiha 1:1-7. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'bud, wa Iyyaka nasta'een, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Translation: In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those who have received your grace, not the path of those who have brought down wrath upon themselves, nor of those who have gone astray. The mercy of Allah is ever present, especially during the blessed month of Ramadan. As we strive to fulfill our duties through fasting and prayer, we remember the words of Surah Al-Baqarah, which highlight the significance of this month as a time of revelation and guidance. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:185. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينة من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. Translation: The month of Ramadan is the one in which the Qur'an was revealed, a guidance for mankind, and clear signs of guidance and the criterion for distinguishing right from wrong. So, whoever among you cites the month, let him fast it. And whoever is ill or on a journey, then an equal number of other days. Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship, and wants for you to complete the period and to glorify Allah for that to which He has guided you, and perhaps you will be grateful. Ramadan is a time for spiritual purification and growth. Fasting allows us to detach from worldly desires and focus on strengthening our connection to Allah. It is a time to seek forgiveness, to ask for Allah's mercy, and to reflect on His guidance in our lives. As we journey through this blessed month, it is important to remember the following verse from Surah At-Tawbah, Surah At-Tawbah 9:51. قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Translation: Say, never will we be struck, except by what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector. And upon Allah let the believers rely. As we continue to fast and engage in acts of worship, we must always place our trust in Allah, knowing that everything happens according to His will. The challenges we face, the moments of discomfort, and the trials of Ramadan are all opportunities for spiritual growth and reflection on Allah's mercy. The Quran is a constant source of light, offering guidance and comfort in times of need. As we recite the verses, we are reminded of Allah's presence and His promise of mercy. One such verse from Surah Ash-Shura is a reminder of His sovereignty and mercy. Surah Ash-Shura 42:19. Allahu alladhi yastajibu liman yasha wa yafraju anhu ma yasha wa ya'fu amma yasha. Translation: Allah is the one who responds to the one who calls upon Him, and He relieves them from the burdens they bear, and He forgives what He wills. In this sacred month, let us also reflect on the power of forgiveness, as Allah is the most forgiving of those who repent. Ramadan is a time to seek Allah's forgiveness for our sins, knowing that He is always ready to forgive us. As we continue to immerse ourselves in worship and reflection during Ramadan, let us remain humble and grateful for Allah's mercy. May this blessed month draw us closer to Him, purify our hearts, and grant us the strength to carry out acts of kindness and worship. And as we complete our fast, let us remember the ultimate goal of Ramadan: to be more mindful of Allah, to act with gratitude, and to always strive for His pleasure. Surah Al-Imran 3, 133 to 134. وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. Translation: And race to forgiveness from your Lord, and a paradise as wide as the heavens and earth, prepared for the righteous, who spend in charity during ease and hardship, who restrain anger and who pardon others. And Allah loves the doers of good. May we find peace in the mercy of Allah during this blessed month, and may our hearts be filled with gratitude as we experience His infinite grace. As we continue through the blessed month of Ramadan, one of the most significant virtues we are encouraged to cultivate is patience. Fasting serves as a powerful reminder of the value of self-control, as it requires us to restrain our desires, thoughts, and actions in the pursuit of spiritual growth. It is through fasting that we learn to cleanse our hearts and develop the inner strength to endure life's challenges with a calm and patient mind. Patience is not merely the ability to wait, but rather the strength to endure difficulties and maintain composure in the face of adversity. In this sacred month, we are reminded by Allah that patience is an essential quality for those who seek His guidance and protection. The Qur'an calls on us to seek help through patience and prayer, reinforcing their importance as tools to strengthen our connection with Allah. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. Translation: O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Fasting allows us to embody this very teaching. By remaining patient through hunger and thirst, we practice the art of self-restraint. This act of worship deepens our understanding of patience, and through it, we are reminded of the profound connection between patience, prayer, and Allah's mercy. When we find ourselves facing moments of weakness or discomfort, it is through prayer and patience that we find solace and strength to continue on the path of righteousness. Patience is not just a passive endurance of hardship. It is an active commitment to persevere in the face of challenges, knowing that Allah's reward is greater than any temporary discomfort. This understanding can be found in the powerful words of Surah Al-Asr, which highlights the importance of patience in preserving the integrity of our time and deeds. Surah Al-Asr 103 1-3. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Translation: By time, indeed, mankind is in loss, except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds and advised each other to truth and advised each other to patience. This surah reminds us that time is a precious gift, and those who waste it in neglect are at a loss. However, those who believe, perform righteous deeds, and encourage each other toward truth and patience are rewarded. During Ramadan, we are given a unique opportunity to focus on how we spend our time. Through fasting and prayer, we can ensure that our time is spent in a manner that is pleasing to Allah. Patience is also closely tied to self-discipline, which is at the core of fasting. As we refrain from eating, drinking, and other distractions, we develop the ability to control our desires. Fasting serves as a powerful means of purifying the heart and strengthening the soul, enabling us to build greater self-control in all aspects of our lives. The Quran encourages us to be patient and to rely on Allah's support, as it is through Him that we find the true strength to endure life's trials. Surah Al-Imran 3:200. O you who have believed, be patient and endure, and remain steadfast, and fear Allah that you may be successful. This verse emphasizes the importance of patience and endurance, not just in fasting, but in all matters of life. The path to success is paved with perseverance and a commitment to self-discipline. In Ramadan, we are encouraged to focus not only on physical restraint, but also on spiritual growth and self-improvement. It is a time to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and intentions, purifying them in the sight of Allah. As we observe the fast, we must remember that the essence of fasting is not just refraining from food and drink, but also from negative thoughts, harmful actions, and sinful behavior. The discipline we cultivate during this month is an opportunity to cleanse ourselves, renew our intentions, and strengthen our character. Surah Az-Zumar 39:10. قل يا عبادي الذين آمنوا اتقوا ربكم للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب جهنم. Translation: Say, O my servants who have believed, fear your Lord. For those who do good in this world there is good, and in the hereafter there is good. And we will avert from them the punishment of hellfire. As we work on perfecting our patience and self-discipline, we must also turn to Allah in sincere supplication, asking for His help to overcome the difficulties we face. The strength to maintain our fasting and perform righteous deeds comes from Him, and He is always with those who are patient. Ramadan offers a blessed opportunity for growth in both patience and self-control. By fasting, we learn to master our desires and redirect our focus toward Allah, who is the ultimate source of peace and strength. Through self-restraint and reflection, we develop inner strength, making us more mindful of our actions, more compassionate toward others, and more aware of the blessings Allah has granted us. Surah Al-Insan 76 verse 2-3. إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا. Translation: Indeed, we have created man from a sperm drop mixture that we may test him, and we made him hearing and seeing. Indeed, we have guided him to the way. Be he grateful or be he ungrateful. The Quran reminds us that life is a test, and fasting during Ramadan is one of the ways Allah tests our patience and devotion. Through fasting, we learn to be grateful for Allah's blessings and to focus on what truly matters: our faith, our actions, and our relationship with Him. In conclusion, Ramadan is an opportunity for us to enhance our self-discipline, refine our patience, and grow spiritually. May we use this blessed month to cleanse our hearts, develop inner strength, and gain the self-control necessary to lead a righteous and fulfilling life, pleasing to Allah. As we continue through the blessed month of Ramadan, our hearts are called to renew their devotion to Allah, seeking a deeper connection with our Creator. This is the perfect time to reflect on the blessings of prayer, Quran recitation, and acts of charity, all of which bring us closer to Allah and allow us to strengthen our faith. These acts of worship are not only a means of fulfilling our religious obligations, but also a way to immerse ourselves in love for Allah and seek His mercy. The night prayer, or Taraweeh, holds a special significance during Ramadan. It is a time when the soul is nourished by the words of Allah, and our devotion is renewed as we stand before Him in prayer. Taraweeh allows us to reflect on the beauty of the Quran and deepen our connection with Allah by listening to His words and engaging in heartfelt supplication. The recitation of the Quran itself is an act of devotion that draws us closer to Allah. It is through the Quran that Allah speaks to us, guiding us on the path of righteousness and reminding us of His infinite mercy and power. Reflecting on Surah Al-Ikhlas, we are reminded of the pure oneness of Allah, which calls us to dedicate ourselves entirely to Him, free from distractions or divided loyalties. Surah Al-Ikhlas 112, 1-4. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ سَامِيًّا. Translation: Say, He is Allah, who is one, Allah, the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to Him any equivalent. This verse beautifully encapsulates the oneness of Allah, inviting us to focus all of our worship on Him, particularly during this sacred month. We are reminded that our devotion is owed entirely to Him, and it is through complete surrender to His will that we find peace and purpose in our lives. As we recite these verses during Taraweeh, we are reminded to purify our hearts and strengthen our relationship with Allah. Another vital aspect of Ramadan is the act of charity. During this blessed month, acts of kindness and generosity hold immense value. Charity is not only a means of helping those in need, but it also serves as a means of purifying our wealth and hearts. The Quran speaks about the importance of charity in numerous verses, highlighting how it purifies our soul and brings us closer to Allah's mercy. Surah At-Tawbah 9:103. خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها وصل عليهم إن صلاتك سكن لهم والله سميع عليم. Translation: Take from their wealth a charity by which you purify them and cause them increase, and invoke blessings upon them. Indeed, your invocations are a source of security for them, and Allah is hearing and knowing. This verse emphasizes that charity is a tool for purification. By giving, we purify not only the wealth we share, but also our hearts, as charity fosters a spirit of selflessness, compassion, and humility. During Ramadan, when the rewards for acts of kindness are multiplied, we are encouraged to give generously to help those who are less fortunate. This is a time to remember the importance of supporting others in their time of need, as Allah's mercy and blessings are multiplied during this month. In addition to charity, fasting itself is an act of devotion that strengthens our connection to Allah. It is through fasting that we learn patience, self-control, and gratitude. We become more mindful of the blessings Allah has provided us, and we develop empathy for those who suffer from hunger and deprivation. Ramadan teaches us to be humble and to recognize that everything we have is a gift from Allah to be used in service to others. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:177. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن للسبيل وللسائلين وفي الرقاب وأقام للصلاة وآتى الزكاة والذين في سبيل الله والمفتون وفتق دول faces toward the east or the west. But righteousness is in one who believes in Allah, the last day, the angels, the book, and the prophets, and gives his wealth in spite of love for it to relatives, orphans, the needy, the traveler, those who ask for help, and for freeing slaves, and establishes prayer and gives zakah, the charity that purifies their wealth. Surah Al-Muzammil 73:20. إن ربك يعلم أنك تقوم أدنى من ثلثي الليل ونصفه وثلثه وفي جزءاكه بشير عكس.